Hello. So I'm on my way home. I'm on my way home from church, from worship service. And the sermon was about Jonah being a walking contradiction. And some of the points that the pastor touched on, it convicted me. They convicted me a little bit. Maybe a lot. Anyway, I was watching a podcast on, what is it called? Dear Future Wifey. And on there, he had Danae Jackson, Derek Jackson's wife. And if you haven't had the opportunity to just give yourself a couple of hours, even as a woman, just give yourself a couple of hours to watch that. There was so much that she said, there was so much power that she gave herself back in the ways she conducted herself, or even confessed, or even just released the things that were going on inside of her marriage that we were only able to see some of it publicly. The part that resonated the most with me was when she said, I was willing to change everything about who I was for him to choose me. Good night. Good night. Do you understand what that feels like as a wife? To just want to be loved, honored, cherished, all those things that you say to do when you get married, only for it to be a lie. I wholeheartedly understood how she felt, because I myself was trying to do the same thing just so my husband would pick me. Good Lord. I just wasn't studying other women's bodies, but I was definitely not honoring who I was as a woman at all, because I was willing to do any and everything just so my husband could pick me, love me, pay attention to me. It really does something to your self-esteem and your self-worth when you just depleted. You're just depleted of all that because of a person. And the problem with that was that I was looking so much into a person and not into God to fulfill me, to live honorably. I was really willing to do whatever it took for my husband to just pick me. Let me tell you something. God said, nope. When I say God said, nope, I mean God said, nope. Here we are, I'm going to say 5 years later, separated, going through a divorce, and I am a better woman for it. I know that sounds really, really crazy, right? Because I'm telling you, I went through the heartbreak. I went through the no, why, oh my God. I mean, I was down in the gutter. And there's some pictures that show it. I mean, I packed on weight. I lost weight. I even lost myself. First of all, I didn't even think I knew myself. But through it all, God said, nope. I'm going to continue to mold you into the person that I needed you to be in the first place. And it has nothing to do with a man. It had nothing to do with me, really. It had everything to do with God's kingdom. I'm like, Lord, what is it that you need from me? What is it that you need from me to do in order for me to be a whole me? Because at first I was fake healing. I was fake healing because I wanted to get my husband back. I was fake healing because I wanted to just have this idealistic look of, oh, this is my husband, that's my husband, and whatever, right? But I wasn't being true to God, and nor did he allow me to have my marriage back, and nor did he allow me to fake heal. So once I started to peel back the layers of, I don't know how to say it. Once I just started peeling back the layers of fakeness and falseness and started to be real with myself, I started to become a better version of myself. And I will honestly say to anybody, if it had not been for my husband and his indiscretions, I would not be the woman that I am today. As hard as that is for me to even say and to admit, I would not be the woman that I am today had it not been for my husband's indiscretions. I mean, I fought everything. I fought the divorce, I fought the separation, I fought all of it. I mean, I fought it all. I fought it so much that I lost my dignity. I had, what pride? I had nothing. I just wanted my marriage because I've been with this person since I was 22 years old and I'm 49 now. So what am I supposed to do? But God has given me so much more. Well, you can't say much more because that's an oxymoron. My daughter's an English teacher, and if she heard me say that, she'd be like, Mom, how can you get much out of more? Anyway, God has given me so much out of this heartache that I should feel ashamed of myself for even wanting the little. I'm not saying this to embarrass myself or to even embarrass my husband. I am saying this because I know that there are many women out there who felt the same way as Danae Jackson. We were willing to do anything and everything just to be picked and loved and honored and cherished by our husbands. And we weren't even looking to God. Let me tell you something. The biggest lesson that I have gotten out of this is God, for one, for sure, is a jealous God. And he don't want you to put no one or nothing above him. And I was really idolizing my marriage, and I wasn't understanding the whole perception or conception or however it was supposed to be. But I am 100%, let me not say 100, I am 90% better, and I'm still getting to that 10%. I am a better woman because of what happened in my marriage. It's not easy, it's not fun, it does not feel good at all. And to just know that it just kept escalating. I mean, escalating. Like, I will never understand a female who wants to be with somebody's husband, regardless of what they're saying about their particular person that they're still married to. I don't know what you think is going to happen when you guys get married. That is not my problem. I pray them well. I wish them well. I don't really remember where I left off before my phone got all extra hot. Healing for me is not an option. It's not an option. It must be done. It must happen. And I will definitely do that. I will never understand the mindset of a woman who wants to be with someone who was married. You knew they were married, but you still pursued that. Not only that, you moved. You moved yourself to the same town said wife lives in. The pastor gave an illustration today. He said there was a man and he was a friend. He was best friends with another guy, and the guy went to prison. And when the guy went to prison, the guy stopped being that guy's friend. And he said, just maybe, that person who stopped being that other person's friend was the very person that God needed to bring that person back around. Basically, what he was trying to get us to understand, that grace and mercy, we are not the barometer on that. Pretty much, we don't get to dictate who gets grace, who gets mercy, whose sin is bigger and better or worse, whatever. We don't get to do that. So we need to basically be careful in the things that we say. Pretty much watch your words. Now, with that being said, I really don't understand the mindset of a female or a woman who thinks it's okay to continuously pursue a married man. And I'm not going to give that married person leadway, because it's their responsibility to honor their vows wholeheartedly. I get that. So when the pastor said that when I heard the pastor say that to me, I was like, I don't like that lady. I mean, I don't do cheaters. I don't want to hang around cheaters. I don't want nobody to think I'm associated with cheaters. I don't want nobody to think that I'm just that low caliber of Nah, I'm good. I was not raised that way. I don't want to conduct myself that way. I don't even want nobody to think I'm that way. But with what he was saying was, maybe you are that person who can turn somebody around. I'm not quite for sure how I could turn someone around who's sleeping with my husband, but it is important for me to show God through me. That is what's important. It is important for me to show God through me. So again, if you have not watched that Dear Wifey podcast with Danae Jackson, please take the time to do so. I don't really watch the Dear Wifey podcast. This was actually the second or third time I've seen something. And when she said, I knew her body better than I knew my own. Basically saying she studied these women and she watched these tapes of her husband having sex with other women so she could become